Hello everybody, welcome back to Lions Family Farms. So this morning here I plan on doing a barn tour. We're getting numerous requests about that in the comments. So it's a good day to do it, so we're going to do that. But first I want to show you guys this. This was sent to us. We got a little note that says, Lions Family Farms, I thought you guys need this to spice up your desk in your office. I look forward to watching your videos each week. Keep up the great work, from your #1 fan. So whoever sent us this cow, we really appreciate that. Thank you. So I think it's time we go get on the barn tour. Well, we'll start off here in the milk house. I won't go super in depth because I could probably make a whole video on the milk house. But maybe some self-explanatory things, but I'll say it anyway. Here's the milk tank where all our milk is stored. We get picked up every other day. So this here, this runs the wash. And you can run the milkers with this too. It's on wash mode because we did the wash, but when we go to milk, we'll flip it over to milk. And here's the wash tub. You see these get the detergent and the acid, which wash the milkers in the pipeline and all the milking equipment, so we get good, safe, quality milk. Here are our milkers. We got 6 automatic takeoffs, which means when the cow's done milking, the milker senses that and it comes off. Here's what they look like, for anyone that's curious. They do have a milk and cow video a few weeks back, or maybe a month if you were interested in seeing that. We get back in here. This is where the milk comes into the milk house. It fills this thing up, and then it gets pumped over to the tank. Then here's the plate cooler. Milk comes in, the water's running through here, which cools the milk down, then it goes to the tank from there. And here's all the acid jugs I was telling you about that keep the pipeline clean. Here's the tank washer. We got acid, well, it's the sanitizer we put in, and detergent. This is a stir up here on top to keep the milk flowing, keep it moving. And here we're on cool because the milkman doesn't come till tomorrow. And there's the button you turn to start the wash. And here is that unit that washes all the water comes out of here at a high rate of speed and washes the inside of this tank. It goes in right down here where the milkman pumps out of. There's this valve that the milkman will unscrew this, put his thing on, open the valve, and he can pump the milk right out of the tank, right through this hole. It comes off and he parks his truck right there. So when this is on wash or milk mode, that activates this vacuum pump right here, which is what makes this show run. Without the vacuum pump, you wouldn't have nothing. I don't know much about how it works, so I can't really get too in depth on that. All I know is that it's a pump that makes vacuum, I guess you could say. Right here, this is I guess the control box for the milkers. I think that's what that is. This is our old one that the milkers used to have. We no longer have the milkers anymore. This is the new one, probably half the size, but probably twice as much power. And while we're talking about milking systems and how that works, when we milk the cows, you come in here, plug your milker in. This goes to the pulsation line down to here, and this is the milk line. And here's 2 little wires that run down back to that box, so it tells the milker which side to pulse on to suck the milk. So we have a 62 stall, high stall barn here. Ours is in 3 rows. Most high stalls are in 2, but ours is in 3 because previously, way before me or Dave, I think before Dave too, we had row 1, row 2 here, and then right here was the end of the barn, and they added on row 3. You can see from the outside, this right here is one of those big hoops, and then this is just an add-on. So yeah, like I said, this is row 1. We milk back here, which might be obvious, but that's what happens. And here's the feed alleys for these 2 rows. We will get into the feeding later on when we get back there. And this barn is tunnel ventilation, which let me show you what that means. Is we have the air coming in from the back, tunneling down through. It's winter time, so we don't have it opened up to its full potential, but we got here. Normally in the summer this is up, but in the winter we got this hole and it sucks in back at the feed room, which then the fans pull that down, and the fans are run on a thermostat. So if it's too cold, they will turn off, and if it's too warm, they will bump on. Let me give you a little example here. So here's one of the thermostats, and that fan's off. So you bump that down, and now that kicks that fan. 4 of the fans are run off thermostat, and 1 is run off of just a switch. I'll show you that. That one we run when we put lime in the mornings, in the nights, and in the summer, which is that switch right here. That kicks this big fan. This fan here is a variable speed, so if it gets too cold, it'll idle down, or whatever the word you could use, but it doesn't run as fast. So here's where we're milking the second and third row back behind them. I normally milk on this side down there. Dave milks the first row. So we run, I guess I didn't tell you, but we have 6 milkers. So he milks a 3, I milk with 3. When he gets done with his 3, when he gets done with that row, he'll bring his 3 milkers over to here, and we'll milk with 6 until the end. Milking roughly takes an hour and 20 minutes, and we milk at 4 a.m. and 4 p.m. So 12-hour intervals. Me and Dave do all the milking, except on the weekends we got some help from my cousins. And here's the third row feed trough. Yeah, like I said, this row is an add-on. This wasn't a part when they built that. And this is what takes the feed to the cows, a Weaver Line 436. It's a pretty simple thing. Flip the key on and drive with this. So that keeps it very efficient rather than forking. I mean, they used to fork back in the day, but we don't want to do that nowadays. So the feed gets put in with that. Back in here is our feed room. We got a 16 by 62 corn silage silo, 16 by 72 haylage, and then out here, throw this door up. I'm not exactly sure. I think this one's 18 by 72. Don't quote me on that, but this one's corn silage. So like I said, we got 2 corn silage silos and a haylage, and all the conveyors run into here. I mean, this corn silage silo conveyor in here, that conveyor's from the outside one, and this is from the haylage into the mixer here, which mixes the feed up with this big chain. And well, there's a grain bin outside too. The grain's in here because the grain truck will be coming today. We feed our cows a TMR, which consists of a mixed dairy grain that our nutritionist says what needs to be put in it, and then the feed mill puts it in. So it's all the grain they need in one mix. We don't gotta mix different grains together. It's all together. And then we got corn silage and haylage coming in, and that gets mixed up. I'll show you what that looks like. Here's what that looks like. You can see the little grain pieces, the little haylage, and the corn silage all in there, mixed up. And the cows are all about it, aren't you? So like I said, 62 stall, tie stall barn, maybe a freestall barn in the future. Just stay tuned for that kind of stuff. And I figured, since we're showing you all the barns, I'll show you our heifer barn and dry cow area. So we got all our heifers. We'll start at the other end where the age group is. So we got, I'll show you the calves when we go back in, but we try to run the calves up to about 3 months, get them out here at 3 months, then they're in this pen, and move them up, keep moving them up. Normally we'll take steers out of here, take them over to the steer barn when they're in this pen at roughly 6 months of age. Then keep moving them up here. And then here are the breeding age heifers. We try to watch them for heat, and we can breed them AI, but if they get to about 13.5 months old and we haven't seen nothing, we'll send them down to the bull. Because we want these heifers to be bred between 13 and 15 months of age, so we can get them started and get them back up into the barn milking. And they are fed corn silage in the morning, and then they get forked hay. This is a second crop grass hay. And down here, these bigger ones are getting an alfalfa bale, which that's fourth cutting. So And then here, this is our freshening pen right here. As you can see, we got 2 calves that were just born. We'll be bringing them into the barn tonight. And yeah, so this is the dry cow side. This is where they come out here for the 6-week dry period. And then when they're getting close to the calf, we throw them here onto the freshening side where they'll have their calf. And then we will shut all the gates and run the fresh cow into the barn. And we like to bed this barn about 2 times a week here. It normally gets bedded always 2 times a week. There's rarely a time where we can only do it once. We got this scrape alley that we scrape down here into the end, in which that manure storage, if you're just doing scraping, will last you 3 months. But I always seem to be adding manure from somewhere else, so it never lasts 3 months, which is fine because I like all manure. So we'll be bedding these this afternoon when we bring those cows. It's time to go back inside because my hands are freezing. But here are the silos. There's the small corn silage, the haylage, the grain bin, and the big corn silage. Which the haylage is alfalfa, which we're debating we might be switching over to triticale next year. Yes. Good old solid milk house eater. Almost forgot I didn't show you guys our manure handling systems. So our manure is in these ditches. We got a ditch in every row, which then there's paddles in there on a big long bar. And let me show you where it goes. We'll go outside and show you guys that. So we run these ditch cleaners once a day to keep the barns cleaned out. Here's what I mean by these paddles. When they go forward, the paddles push flat, and then when it pulls back, the paddles fold in, which goes into this reception pit here, which this is what this is. This is a pit. And then there's a 24-inch pipe. You won't be able to see it, but it's under here into our main pit there, which is it's 10 foot. Right now we're at about 7, so we're almost at capacity. I'll be hauling that out within another month or so. So that's how our manure. It's a pretty low maintenance or low worry about system. We just flip the switch once a day and it cleans our manure out. So I'll also show you here our calves and how we raise them. So we got them in here. We got 2 different sides. I like to keep the steer calves over there the best I can, and then keep the heifers over here. It doesn't really matter. I guess it's just a good management practice to keep them so you know you're not getting mixed up. Right now we don't have many in here. I don't know off the top of my head how many we got in here, but we can keep about 25, 26 in here. That's about the max. So yeah, it's pretty simple. This calf really loves me. Would like to maybe build a new calf facility in the upcoming years here. Maybe one that can hold a little more calves and have just new's better in my opinion when it comes to facilities. New facilities are better than old in my opinion with just how they're built. So I think that's going to conclude our tour. I think I touched on everything. If there's anything else you guys would be interested in seeing, we could go more in depth on certain things of the barn here. If you're more interested in the milk house, I can do a milk house video if that's something you guys are interested in seeing. But I think that's a good basic overview of how our barn works and what everything is in there. So I appreciate everyone that stuck around here to the end, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.